Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jim the Fuzzy, and welcome to Sid Meier's Civilization VI. As the name suggests, it is the sixth game in Sid Meier's Civilization series, or at least the main series. I'm going to be going through, and, well, we're going to be trying to tell the story of Arabia, and I'm going to be commenting on mechanics as I discover them. I'm going in, as usual, mostly blind. So I don't know a lot of what to expect. I've familiarized myself more or less with the new mechanics they've added, so I have an idea of how everything works, but that's just a general level. Going over the setup I have here, most of this is standard, or the defaults you will get. I turn resources up to abundant, just because I like having more resources sitting around. While it doesn't necessarily lead to as many conflicts over strategic resource locations and such, it does tend to spread things out a bit. It makes it easier to do what you're planning to do, essentially. Game speed is on standard. I increased the map size from small to standard, but I dropped the number of players down to what it is on small, just to try and give everybody a little breathing room. I also disabled the turn limit, which in turn also disabled the score victory, because just having the game suddenly end and arbitrarily declare a winner is not all that fun. As I mentioned, we're playing Arabia, and what that means is if we haven't already claimed a great profit at the time that the next to last one is claimed, we will get the final one, which means we are guaranteed to start a religion, whatever that religion is. And our religion building is significantly cheaper, 1/10 the normal cost, and it also gives upgrades to the city. Special unit is the Mamluk, which replaces the Knight, which is very nice because it also, as it says, heals at the end of every turn, even if it did move or attack that turn, which is really, really nice. Normally a unit has to do nothing, actually fortify itself in order to heal at the end of a turn. So, even if this is only half the normal healing, the fact that I can still run around with my main heavy cavalry and they will heal is amazing. There's also the Madrasa, which is a special building. I'm not entirely sure how it works at this point. We'll take a look once we get into the game, because I don't seem to be able to access the Civilopedia from the main menu, unlike previous versions of the game. And with that, it's time to hit start. The random seed for the game and the map is right here, if you're interested in trying to replicate this. I'm also going to take a save the moment I start the game, and I will be uploading that at some point in the future. Preferably at some point when I've discovered enough of the map that people playing along can't give me any major spoilers about what's there. And so we go.
From the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. The marriage of science and religion is a delicate balancing act, but one that you have mastered, Saladin. Your quest for knowledge is noble, and your people have a deep respect for you, but you need not rush into the unknown. Given time, the answers to life's most puzzling questions will find their way back to Arabia.
Alright.
Greetings, my liege. As your personal
advi-
advisor, I am qualified to assist you in...
I'm just gonna say new to Civilization 6. And now we save this. And we'll save it as Fuzzy Arabia 1. Or start. That sounds good. And now we shall save, and we shall see what happens from here. Now, first thing we're going to do is look at the research tree. One major change in Civilization 6 is these Eureka moments. Your first technologies here do not have Eureka moments, and the only way to get a number of the later game Eureka moments, like stealth technology, lasers, and so forth, is through randomness, either stealing some of the technology from the AI or what have you. But in the meantime, things like writing, which allow you to set up embassies and so forth, that's mean another civilization. To get archers faster, you need to kill a unit with a slinger, which is the unit that upgrades into the archer, and so forth. So, with that in mind, I'm going to actually wait a moment. We are right on the coast. And yeah, it's doing the same thing it did in Civ 5 and not showing me exactly where on the map I am. Okay. Code of Laws is the only first option. Okay. Fine. We have a quarry right here, which suggests mining would be a good start. We could get the bonus for sailing by founding our city right here on the coast, which would not be a bad thing. I want to turn on the hex grid, which doesn't really show... Okay. The districts, which I'll get into in a moment, give bonuses based on locations. I want to take my first warrior and have him explore nearby. Alright, we have a number of mountains, which is also good for Arabia. And I will show you why shortly. In the meantime, this is a good place to found our city. Alright. So we have gotten the boost to sailing. And sailing lets us build galleys, so we can send ships along coast. Also lets us build fishing boats. And fishing boats allow us to upgrade these coastal resources, like fish and crabs and so forth. Those will, among other things, let our city grow faster. Or we could get the mining for the quarry, which will let our city build things faster. I think... well, they both take the same amount of turns. So let's start with sailing. And let us see what our... I think the monument will be useful, because more culture will be useful as we go on. Culture helps determine how fast our city borders grow. So, it also determines how quickly we get new civics. So, let us do that. Unlike the previous Civilization games, you essentially have two research trees. One is the normal research tree, and the other is the civics tree. Civics is generally there for upgrading your government, and so forth. New kinds of wars, trade routes, that sort of thing. Research is new technologies like boats and jet fighters and all that sort of thing. So with that, we end the first turn. Let's move over here. Oh. Progress towards new continent. One thing they did was that the land masses are divided up into continents. For example, this is Asia, and this is Vendian. So, with that, I suppose we have discovered another continent, and this would be really nice if we were playing, say, Great Britain, because they get bonuses for things for founding cities on other continents, and we have the other continent right next door. So there's that. That march is going to slow down exploration down there. But at the same time, I think I'm gonna need to go... Am I gonna need to go through it? Maybe. Let's go over here. Okay, that's, what's that? Maybe a coast, river, something? I think it's a river. Let's go over here. Yep, river, mountain range going up there. This doesn't look like a bad area to set up a second city, especially given that we have some nice luxury resources here. I'll have to take a look at what's on the other side. A barbarian scout. Barbarians in Civilization 6 are unlike previous versions. Before they would create a barbarian encampment, and then they would send out units in semi-random directions to attack stuff that got close. Now, they have the barbarian scouts. The encampment is formed, it sends out a scout, and if that scout finds a city and makes it back to the barbarian encampment, then it will send a stream of barbarians towards that city, making it very hard to get anything done. So we have found a scout very early, and it's running away from us. Okay. Well, let us try and follow, but in a moment. One thing about cities is that they have a maximum border range that they can work. We click on the city. So where's the button? Here we go. Manage citizens. The city can work any tile within its borders. Well, we also have this mountain here, so we can't work that mountain. The maximum borders of the cities extend out 3 hexes in any direction. So in this case, it ends right at this mountain range here, right at this mountain here, and right in this jungle, I believe. Well, rainforest. And the rest of it, well, we can see down to here just empty ocean, but also some off-map. Some parts that we haven't explored yet. So, with that being said, we generally don't want to set up another city within where there's a lot of tile overlap, if any tile overlap. The reason for that will become apparent later on when I show you how cities tend to sprawl. So with that, 1, 2, 3, and it comes out to a maximum of right here, so this might actually be a good place for...
Our city-state neighbors have made a request of us. If we can impress them.
We've found a city-state here. City-states are a concept added in Civilization 5. They are little, essentially, mini-nations. They don't expand. They have their borders, which they don't expand beyond. Uh-oh. We need to get home because Barbarian Scout just discovered our home city. So after that, monument finishes, I think we're going to need to build another military unit. Probably a slinger. Remove our... But when I was saying this was a good spot to found a city, that plan just went completely off. It's gone now, because the city-states right here will be massively overlapping with their borders, which is going to irritate them and just reduce the overall effectiveness of our city anyway. You can click up here to see the city-states, and this one, if we send envoys, first city to go there gets an envoy there automatically. If I send one envoy, I get +2 culture in the capital. Good. If I get 3 envoys, I get +2 culture in every theater square district. 6 envoys, I get an additional +2 culture in every theater square district, which is very, very nice. If I have 3 envoys and more than any other civilization, I get unique bonus, which is based on each city-state. In this case, my cities have full housing benefits from water, as if they were all next to a river, which is really, really powerful. That is beyond really powerful, actually. You also have the suzerain status, which allows you to take control of their military temporarily, and you have to pay for it. You can send over units to improve their territory, which is definitely useful for them. And it helps you out as well because, well, they're better off. And they're helping you. Your units can walk through there, and they're automatically allied to you, so... And any resources they have become yours. All in all, really, really powerful. And I don't have any bombardment capability because I don't have walls invented yet. Not good. Yep, he's running off to his encampment. Now I've got to get home. Which is not going to be easy, given this trek. Overall, though, shouldn't be terrible. And maybe I'll make it before any barbarian armies arrive. Maybe.
Enacting new policies in our government can be of
Okay.
great benefit.
It is not that life ashore is distasteful to me, but life at sea is better. It is not wisdom, but authority that makes a law.
Alright, now we have the new government system here. Which, in this case, we can basically take these cards over here and drop them into these slots. There are different types of slots: military, economic, diplomatic, and wildcard. Wildcard can take any kind of card. Military can only take military cards, and economic, it's simple enough. In this case, I'm going to take discipline, and I think God King. Discipline gives us more combat strength when we're fighting against barbarians. God King gives us bonus faith and money in our capital. The other alternative we have is urban planning, which is bonus to production in all our cities. But we only have the one city. This gives us 2 points total, and urban planning gives us 1 point per city. So, maybe better later on. Also, governments have legacy bonuses. So, we'll get to that later on. On the turn you get more cards, or a new government type, you can switch freely, otherwise you have to pay for it. And yes, our policy agenda is set. Now we need new research, which I believe mining will be a good start. And new civic. I'm going to get foreign trade, just so I can start up trade routes with this new city-state. Craftsmanship will require us to get a builder, and I'm not ready to get a builder right now because we have barbarians to fight off. So, I am going to gamble on the idea that these mountains don't go up very far, and that the barbarian encampment is almost due west of where our warrior is. So, let's go up here. And it looks like my gamble is correct. However, to see if it pays off, well, we'll have to come back to that in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Jim of the Fuzzy. Hope to see you again next time.